this chess trap against the Trapowski attack, and it goes like this: d4, d5, bishop to g5, and then after bishop to g5, c6, a must. After c6, e3, h6 has to be played. If bishop goes to f4, no more trap, but if bishop goes to h4, then queen to b6, attacking this pawn on b2, queen c1, and then this move e5. If white captures this pawn on e5, queen b4, attacking the king on e1 and the bishop on h4, which is a fork. And so after the move knight to d2, queen captures the bishop on h4, and this is just a free piece. That is the England Gambit of chess, and it starts like this: d4, e5, d takes on e5, knight to c6, knight to f3, queen e7, and then after queen e7, bishop f4, queen b4 check. Bishop back to d2, queen takes on b2, knight to c3, don't fall for the trap, bishop to b4, rook to b1. There's two variations, but we're going to go over what happens after queen takes on c3, bishop takes on c3, bishop takes on c3, knight goes to d2. Now, main move is actually taking the pawn on e5 with your bishop, but you can take the pawn with the knight, which now white is forced to do the move e4, not getting caught by that trap, that knight going to c4, and eventually getting our queen if our pawn was still on e2. This chess trap in the England Gambit, and it starts like this: d4, e5, d takes on e5, bishop to c5, and then after knight to f3, d6, e takes on d6. Black does this tricky move, knight to e7. If white captures the knight on e7, thinking that that's just a free piece, bishop takes on f2. The king has to take the bishop, only move, and then black gets a free queen on d1. And the game is just over. You can't just lose your lady and then think that you could just continue on with this game. Just resign.
This is a weird chess move called en passant. If your opponent's pawn has not moved and then moves two squares at once to be next to your pawn, you can capture that pawn diagonally. Learn more about en passant and this sport at playchessup.com.
Check out this position I had in a tournament game. My position looks pretty crazy. White comes in to attack my bishop, but I don't want to trade it, so I brought it back. So then he tries to harass my queen. So now my bishop is attacking the knight, but it's defended by this bishop, so I should have taken this with check. Then when the queen takes it, it's still defending the knight, but I move my queen. I can move my queen right here, double attacking this knight and this knight unguarded. This one is now double attacked, and this queen cannot come and defend both of them. And that's why you study tactics, to pick up on things like this. All right, I got a tournament this weekend. I'm using ChessUp to practice over the board. I'm even taking notation. I'm on chess.com, playing a rapid game, 15 plus 10. And the game's already kind of crazy, but this is just one way that I like to use ChessUp. Holy cow, that's some crazy stuff. All right, I'm going to go, let's see, got to write it down. King E2. All right, I'm going to be equally crazy right here. I'm going to come over here. Queen H4. Yeah, in tournaments I don't play that often, so writing notation is kind of a pain. So doing this right now in preparation is very helpful.
This Scotch game trap is going to blow your mind, and it starts like this: e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, d4, which initiates the Scotch game. After e takes on d4, knight to g5 instead of taking the pawn back. Now, this does kind of initiate the gambit, especially after the move h6. Knight takes on f7, king takes on f7, and then we have this powerful move, bishop to c4. There's only one good move for black, which is going king g6, queen g5, g4, king h7. But if the king goes back, queen h5 is an automatic loss for the black pieces, especially when you go through a variation just like This, just ugly. Nobody wants to see this over the board at all.
This powerful